Who you calling chubby?
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Suddenly you kissed my wife. Baby, my heart's on fire.
Today we review a 6-inch Dalek figure from the Doctor Who collection. Actually, it's difficult to know who the manufacturers were here. It could be BBC, it could be Character. I'm not sure who to give credit to this for. The box indicates that it is one of the new Dalek paradigms. Well, I do like sugar smacks. The box is solid and protects the figure well. It showcases the figure nicely in its box, and it has a picture of the figure on the side so that, well, duh, this is the one that you bought. And it indicates that this is Dalek the Supreme, which means that this Dalek comes with onions, green peppers, sausage, and pepperoni. It has the standard warnings so that children and stupid people won't try to eat it. On the back of the box, it says, many years ago, the Dalek sent out thousands of egg-shaped progenitors containing the genetic coding of the race so that new Daleks could be created whenever necessary. One of these progenitors was found in war-torn England during the Second World War and transported to a Dalek ship. However, because the Daleks that found it had been genetically modified by their creator Davros using his own DNA, the progenitor did not acknowledge them as pure Daleks until the Doctor identified them as such, and the progenitor created a new race of powerful Daleks as a result. These Daleks were led by the white-cased Supreme and include the enigmatically titled yellow-cased Eternal, blue-cased Strategists, orange-cased Scientists, and the red-cased Drones. The box also has numerous warnings and credits on the back, and shows off the other members of the Dalek paradigm. Anywho, let us remove the Supreme Pizza Dalek from his box and review him properly. And here is Supreme Paradigm Dalek out of his box. It's a nice solid looking toy, but it doesn't feel so solid when you pick it up. The new Dalek paradigm figures were an attempt by the Doctor Who makers to try and make over the Daleks for the 21st century. Unfortunately, it didn't seem to catch on, and looking at the figure, it's easy to understand why. When you look at the paradigm Dalek from the front, the silhouette seems sleek and fairly proportionate. When viewing it from the side, however, the paradigm Dalek reveals several flaws. It has a fairly jarring humpback. In the series, the hump is meant to contain several different arm tools, but that doesn't help the figure's appearance, making it constantly seem like it's leaning forward. The central section, which houses the gun and plunger arm, has been raised up to the neck, but was not made proportionally taller. On the original Dalek, the central section had a series of vertical armor plates to widen it out. That is now missing on the paradigm Dalek. They tried to cover it up by making the skirt and base sections extremely tall. However, that merely makes the new Dalek look as if he pulled up his pants too high. It may be nitpicking, but if they had made the plating of the central gun section taller, and shrunk the other sections proportionally, and done more to hide the humpback, it would have made the figure much better. Like most antagonist mooks, the Daleks are inversely powerful in proportion to their numbers. When there is only one Dalek around, then they are treated as infinitely powerful, but when there are large numbers of them, suddenly you can mow them down with DJs, ropes, mirrors, making them lonely, hat. Nitpicking aside, the figure does have positive aspects. The neck section looks sleek, and so does the new eye stalk. There is some good detailing, and for the most part the paint applications are done fairly neatly, except for this section here where it looks like they got carried away with the airbrush. The color scheme for Supreme Dalek is a flat, clean white, offset with some black parts, with the neck, the central section, and skirt protrusions done in a very dark gray. The gun and plunger arms are highlighted with silver paint. The Paradigm Dalek has a set of 3 wheels on the base, which roll forwards or backwards and are placed in swivels, so that theoretically your Dalek can roll easily in any direction. In reality, you have to kind of force the wheels to swivel in the direction you want it to roll before your Dalek will cooperate. There is very little in the way of articulation. The head dome will rotate 360 degrees. You are advised to use these nubs on the dome as anchors for your fingers. The neck section does not rotate, but the eye stalk will tilt slightly up and down on a ball socket. There does not seem to be any side-to-side rotation for the eye stalk, though the dome rotation makes up for that. The center section does not rotate, neither does the skirt section or the base. The gun and plunger arms will rotate in any direction on ball socket joints. However, the angle of rotation is severely limited. The entire figure is made of hard plastic, except for the eye stalk, the plunger arm, and the gun arm, which are a more flexible rubber plastic. Beyond that, the Paradigm Dalek has little in the way of posability or playability. Granted, Dalek figures never had much of that to start with, but it would have been nice, since the figure is mostly hollow, if they had the humpback hatch openable with the ability to store different arm accessories to replace the toilet plunger. Having a double-gun Dalek would have been pretty boss. For size comparison, here is the Paradigm Dalek next to the 12-inch Flame Trooper. Here is the Paradigm Dalek next to Universe Deluxe-sized Prowl. And here is Paradigm Dalek next to Spider-Gwen. All of the figures who have a cool black and white color scheme. Like me. If you like Daleks, then you will certainly want to add 1 or 2 of these to your collection, depending on your color preference. Are they cool enough to merit collecting all 5? In Death's opinion, no. Due to some sloppy paint, limited articulation, and the overall uncoolness of the Paradigm design, White Supreme Pizza Dalek receives 6 out of 10 deaths. Sorry, Supreme. Guess you're not the superior beings after all. Ow!
If you refuse me, honey, you lose me. Then you'll be left alone, oh baby. Tell them all and tell me I'm your own.